That's way Chicago Part 4 of the DARPA bots in World War Trace. See how that works? Part 4. Robots on the border. China's got robots on the border with, I think, India, it's called, in the mountains. Because North Korea, India, like, it goes really high in the air, and the North Korean military couldn't keep soldiers up there. Neither could the red ones. See how that worked? I can't say their name too many times. But anyways, they decided to deploy robots way high in the mountains to do some doohicking. Watch this garbage. By the way, hit pound wags Chicago spelled out. So pound wags Chicago, or visit my site wagschicago.com. Links are in the description. Like, subscribe, please comment, share it. I'm being shadow doohickied again, whatever.
So China is giving more weapons to Pakistan, but they're nothing like what we're about to show you. Chinese soldiers stationed along the border with India have some new weapons. They were struggling to operate in high altitudes in the difficult climatic conditions. So China is bringing in robots to help. You heard that right. China is deploying robotic weapons along the border with India. There are machine guns on wheels. And they can be fired with a remote control. Beijing's decision to give robots to the PLA could have...
There is a new threat from China. It is not a battalion of soldiers or wolf warriors.
Now remember, I've been telling everybody I know, and I made a couple clips here and there about drones that are going to be dropped off when they finally land in American soil. See how that work? And so you're going to have a million drones, little doohickey flying projectiles out of it. You're going to have dogs on the ground, as you've seen. And you're going to have dogs doing some naughty shit, probably dropping out of planes. Watch this.
Warrior diplomats. It's these machines. Initially, they would remind you of remote-controlled car toys. But look closely. These robots can do a lot more. They are equipped with a machine gun. Chinese soldiers can fire this gun from a distance and without any wires.
I think that's set. Hang on, what did that say? I gotta read the screen here. Hang on.
They are equipped with a machine gun. Chinese soldiers can fire this gun from a distance and without any wires. There are cameras too, to watch what the adversaries are doing. China calls this vehicle the Shark Claw. 88 of these have been deployed in Tibet. Shark Claw.
See how you always got the dark arts numbers. I don't know how it works in with the ether. 88, 88. See how that works? Just amazing.
Has a partner. It's the Mule 200.
Oh my
this
God.
Is a transport vehicle, so not as...
They got AI tanks. Look at this garbage up in the mountains. And by the way, these dogs, did I tell you, they go 7.5 miles on one juiced up battery pack.
Lethal as the Shark Claw, but the Mule would be very useful for the PLA.
This thing's getting in elevators to find your ugly
valuable
ass.
supplies like ammunition. China has deployed around 120 of these in Tibet.
Another 1-2 because he dropped a 0 in the dark arts. So we got 8-8 and 1-2. This is going to turn into a wizard lesson with symbols in a second.
Robots are now joining the People's Liberation Army. Their induction is a prelude to something more sinister. For now, a soldier will operate these robots. But in the future, China wants weapons with a mind of their own. The PLA wants weapons with artificial intelligence.
China has the most cameras in the world. China has a thing called Skynet. Look that garbage up. And I guess other countries, when I hear joined in or whatever, like... By the way, China's going to be the new role model for the New Order. See how that works? That's a true story, by the way. Like, so what you see in China is what you're about to see in America, or not. But it is, because it's in the owner's manual. If you read the manual, you'd know what I'm talking about. Or read the Cliff Notes. This new war ain't going to be what your grandfather's war, your dad, how old you are, your dad's war. That, you know what I'm saying? Like, They don't need the humans anymore. That's why they're doing this war. We don't need humans no more. That's why we're doing the war. New mug coming out tomorrow. See that work?
Beijing is moving swiftly to acquire such capabilities. The efforts began in 2017 when China unveiled a new artificial intelligence development plan. It advocated the use of AI in the military. Specific applications were listed out, like providing support to command and decision making, military deductions, and development of defense equipment and related application.
See, in the old days, China used to steal this guy. Not steal it, we gave it to him. Look up the documents on that. Like, that guy that was banging broads with the cigars, like, his admitted, whatever, there in that time frame. Look it up, whatever that means. Something was up. Anyways, they stole the support. They invited in these CCers. This is when you knew America was in trouble. Like, they brought in their guys that wear uniforms way up there. See how that worked? And they gave him a tour of the white, or not the white, well, probably there too, but a building looks like a pentagram. Like, that's kind of weird. But this pentagram building, they let these high-ranking doohickeys walk around. This is in the 90s, in case you don't know what I'm talking about. And I guess the rumor is, but it ain't. You can look it up. At the time, there was a rumor, like, they brought little thumb drives. See how they work? As they're walking around on the tour, the guy in the back was sticking the thumb drive in all our computers, and I guess they allegedly stole shit. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. And then a couple years later, all of a sudden, the CCers got the same exact airplanes we got that you can't see. You know how that works? They're called stealthy, whatever, the things you can't see that fly around. All of a sudden, they got an exact replica within days almost, according to military time. Anyways, the problem is now the CCers, because of our policies, they run everything. So they can make all the new doohickeys. So now our own generals, they stepped down, like 3 of them recently, that are in charge of they said China's whooping the snap shit out of U.S. on AI. See how that works? They said it, not me. I'm just the asshole that does the news, and you get mad at me. Don't get mad at me.
The sector was roped in to accelerate these efforts. Chinese big tech companies like Alibaba, Baidu, Tencent, Xiaomi, and Huawei were labeled as AI champions. The PLA stands to benefit from the rapid strides these companies make. Already, different wings of the Chinese military are...
You see how this works? Now, China, by the way, just in case you're not following the old doohickey trace, WW, whatever that means, they just threatened us earlier today, I think it was this morning, that if this certain batshit crazy woman, no offense if you're batshit crazy, I'm sorry, it's still a free country for now, they say. Anyways, if she shows up in the old T-Wani, see how that works? I can't say any of these words. This is getting dark arts now. If she goes to T-Wayne, let's call it, because that's what it looks like when you read it. T-Wayne, it's an island near the old CCer, that they're going to spank the living shit out of American soil, is what I interpreted from it. Now, I'm just an asshole with a flip phone. So, you do your own homework. See how that works?
Working on specific projects.
But my point is, if you get some of these undercover stealth doohickeys dropping off millions of these robot dogs and millions of these little AI tank, what fake? They're in a world that you don't even understand. And by the way, how long has AI been in charge? Once you unleash AI, it writes its own language. You can't track it no more. And now the AI has got a personality. And now they're uploading souls, they think, to these AI. I'm going to come back with a theory I had this morning. You're not going to believe this. And I got video of the radar. So there's something weird happening that they're not telling us.
The PLA ground force is developing robotics for the military. The Navy is working on autonomous submarines, while the Air Force is developing drones with an ability to think. These advancements should raise an alarm worldwide. Unfortunately, world powers are still ignoring the threat. This month, the United Nations...
See, if the world powers, they work. This is probably an old video, but Right now, they ain't ignoring it. We just approved another like $100 billion, whatever. They're giving them so much money to the launder or whatever they call it, to the laundromat, the UKR mat. That's a new store, by the way. UKR mat. See, I wish I could do graphics. Like, that'd be a great mug. Like, you put the flag on there of like a freaking. Remember the old days? You throw the laundry right in that big tumbling machine when you like puked all over the shit, dog or whatever. Anyways, they're laundromatting or not money into a country that's got all these weird things in it, like with viruses and so forth. And again, today, Russia's saying that there's some super soldiering going on in UK where these guys get hit with these flying projectiles and they're not dying. That's them saying it, not me. I just see in the news. Hang on.
Tried to open negotiations for an international treaty on autonomous weapons. They failed. None of major.
So when these are dropping on little parachutes. And by the way, the CCers, this is a true story. They tweeted out their news agency, which is government run. And this government run says, hey, we could send 200,000 humans a day from our country to yours as a gift on each coast. So figure 5 days they take 2 up. Let's just go 5. That's 1 million humans a week per coast. I think they said per coast. Even if it's just one coast. Let's just do one. Let's not get crazy, right? What are you going to do about it? That's checkmate. Because you can't hurt those said humans. They're innocent people that they're throwing. They're probably all the prisoners and shit, by the way. Think about that. See how that works? So, this is my Facebook feed. I have a feed on my memes feed. Anyways, see how that works? Like, what are you going to do when 200,000 people a day show up on U-boats or whatever they're going to set up on rafts? Or the Titanic, because you are living on the Titanic. So, in 5 days, you got 1 million humans, whatever you call them, from China. See how that works? This is almost hilarious. Now, what are you going to do? Now, in a week, let's say in a month, that's 4 million. I'm going low with the numbers. 4 million a month just for one coast. Let's double that to 2. You're pushing 10 million humans a month. In a year, that's 120 million Chinese on your land that aren't soldiers that you know of. Because you know there's going to be undercover people in there. They're going to slip in their dark arts into the crowd, pretending they're refugees or whatever you call that term. I'm not allowed to say he, his, or whatever. And by the way, I got my new pronoun picked out. I'm going to make a mug. I'm making it right now as soon as I hang this up. The mug, my pronoun is was, were. That's the American pronoun for the whole country. See how that works? And this could all stop. Like if you stop, like you can't stop. But by the way, it can't stop. What am I thinking? I'm thinking that if you wish some goodwill, like I know, like if people would have stopped, there's other problems coming besides the war garbage. Like depending where you live, you're gonna have them on the ground or not. You know. Oh, by the way, Russia. I'm gonna turn the volume down. Let you watch the rest of this. Russia and China and Iran and like all these other countries are meeting just south of the border to do some war games in about 2 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks. It's in August. Do the math. That's a robot with machine guns, and if they can put machine gun, they can put little longer range machine gun. Let's call it. They go further. See how that work? That thing's climbing your back stairs. See how that work? In the old days, there was music about men doing this at your back door. Now you're going to have a Chinese robot kicking your door down, wanting to talk to your family. See how that... So I'd say do push-ups, but it may not matter. If you're fighting a robot, you're kind of in trouble. This is Wags Chicago, part 4 of the robotic war. Ooh, part 4 of the war.